beautiful friends. It's been a while since we were here at 11 a.m. Pacific. And so I'm showing this amazing Christ yantra that was created by a disciple of Sri Kaleshwar. And we had the wonderful Alex Utterman, who was here with us as a direct disciple of Sri Kaleshwar. And she lived with him in India for 5 years and meditated night and day, cleared all her channels. And so this yantra comes from her collection. And so I was able to bless our group energetically with this yantra. So I'm holding it here in my hands. And I have to tell you, I've never felt anything like it. And I have a lot of sacred objects, but this really beats them all. And so this one, the description is, it was brought to us by Sri Kaleshwar. And, you know, when I work with Sri Kaleshwar in the ethers, that's what I would call it, then sometimes he even draws these yantras, different types of yantras on your head, which is very interesting to me, to create openness to cosmic consciousness. And so just having this yantra since yesterday, I can let go. It's pretty big, so it's not small. So I hold it in my lap. And so this is what it is meant to do, and it's doing it. I'm going to read from what Alex told me. This so-called Jesus Christ yantra is the highest healing technology on our planet. This special yantra, it is a divine energy structure, was created by 101 top saints in ancient days under the direct guidance of Jesus Christ's soul. It is actually the soul structure of Christ consciousness. So this yantra does not appear anywhere on the planet except in the ancient palm leaf manuscripts from South India, where Isa, Jesus, was said to live as well, and maybe even be buried. And it was returned to modern world through the healing saint of Sri Kaleshwar. How to use this yantra? You can hang it in your home to provide blessings and spiritual upliftment and protection. You can have it on your altar as a divine power conduit to bless your home. You can hold it whenever you are giving healing to others, or when you are teaching. I'm holding it now to transmit to all. Of course, it will enhance your energy capacity hugely. You can hold this yantra in the frame, it is in the frame, while meditating for self-healing. And I use it in meditation for healing of all. And you can have your clients lay on the yantra for powerful healing. And so it says this yantra is really the most powerful in the world. This is a miraculous device that has helped humanity out of its suffering. And so I just feel so honored to be here. And I have to tell you a little story. So we got back from Mount Shasta yesterday. And so I quickly unpacked the package and held it here during our meditation. And I felt like I'm not on this planet anymore. And I felt like, whoa, I'm shifting into higher dimensions. I'm not even like, you know, I normally travel out of body at night, but this was like unbelievable. And I will tell you where I bought it from Alex. It was on her website. I didn't see it there today, so I'm not sure if she makes them, who makes them. I really don't know. But I also bought the mala prayer necklace that she has on her website, which was directly blessed and touched by Sri Kaleshwar. And I use that as well. So I'll show it in a moment. I'll just tell you the story a little bit. So I held it yesterday, and then I thought, okay, it is copper. And I thought, what is going on? This is too intense. And, you know, I work with so many tools and I can sense all the energies, but this one was like absolutely unbelievably intense. And so I thought, okay, I'll meditate with it all day. So I meditated with it, and after our session, I went to take it outside and meditated outside in the dark as well, especially with the comet flying by yesterday so closely. And then I took it out again before going to bed again one more time. And I did all my invocations and I did all the breathing exercises that I do for about half an hour. And then I went to bed and I thought, okay, I'll just put it under the bed. That was a big mistake, by the way. And so this is just to show you, you know, the things you can do. And so one of my invocations last night, I always invoke, hopefully that I can go into source and remember all of it. I want to be with my family of the light. I want to remember all of it. I want to be with Divine Mother and remember all of it, and so on and so on, and to be of service, of course. And I also really wanted to invite the Elemental Queendom, because I only met them once. I told you that only once was I really visited by elemental beings. And just a moment, I have to respond to a text. So only once in my life was I really visited by elemental beings. So elemental beings are the beings of nature, and some people like sense them through the third eye, and that's one way. But for me, I got visited by them in the physical. So like touching your skin, I would be touching the skin of an elemental. And that only happened once. But last night with this yantra under my bed, it happened again. I got visited by elemental being. And now this is really funny. So again, I tell the story so that I inspire your own, doing. I hope that helps. It's really just amazing, because I really specifically wanted the elemental beings to visit the Blueberry Man, yes. And this time it was kind of funny, and I feel so bad. I tell you why. So at about 4:30 in the morning, I came out of body because I was trying really hard. I had the yantra under the bed. I had the mala, the prayer necklace under the bed, and I was awake. And I thought, if I'm awake, that means there is an opportunity for me to have an experience and be of service. And so I did what I always teach to do. You lay on your back, you focus on your third eye, you put something over your eyes. I had a little bit of like this, actually it's a pillowcase, but it's a perfect weight. So not too heavy, not too light. And I'm chanting into the third eye, and I'm doing Om, Om, Om. And I thought, okay, I'll do some other mantras. Then I did Om again, and then bam, I came out of body. And I usually try to go to other dimensions, like higher dimensions. But this time I realized I have an elemental coming to visit me. And it was just one. And I say she hopped on my chest as I was out of body. And she was about 1.5 feet tall. And it was one of those beings that I met before, but these are the mantis beings. So nothing tall, but a small mantis beings. And she held my hands, and she was looking deeply into my eyes. But I freaked out a little bit, and I tell you why, because I know these mantis beings, they are amazing. They are cosmic DNA masters. They work with human DNA, and not just human DNA. They are here on this planet. They live in the core of the earth. And they are changing always the different DNA modifications that we have in the most loving way to improve species, to improve humans, and they release them into the ocean. So I did visit with them in the inner earth, really maybe 2 years ago, but I knew that they modify DNA. And so when this mantis being appeared on me, first I got a little bit, nervous. I was like, oh no, are they coming to modify my DNA? I don't know if I want it. And in that moment, of course, you know how this works. When you have a little bit of fear, when you have some kind of discordant thought, immediately the experience has to, change. You cannot stay in this beautiful divine encounter because your fear got in the way. My fear got in the way. And so immediately the elemental being, she knew it. And so she changed her face to look more like a woman, like she had short, curly, kind of like dark blonde hair, and she had very pointy ears, but she was still holding on to me. But I felt so bad because my fear made her change so that she doesn't look the way that she actually is, but so that she looks more human and I'm not scared. And so, today I'm going to be apologizing to her because it's so interesting. I was telling my husband, I've seen so many different beings and I don't know why I got nervous around the mantis being. But again, just to tell you, what's possible in this multidimensional reality. Yeah. And again, I don't know if this was the result of the yantra under the bed. Yeah. Like the praying mantis. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna go and feed the elementals tonight and hope that they can come and visit again. But it was funny because, you know, Yogananda always talk about it, how the divine beings can change their form depending on what you are thinking and depending on what your belief system is. And so Yogananda specifically said, for example, when what we would call, you know, Divine Father, I think was it Divine Father who appeared to Sri Kaleshwar after he departed from his body to his samadhi, that he would take on any form any believer had in themselves as a belief system, just to kind of comply with the belief system, but that is not the true form. And so I thought this is so interesting that the elemental did the same thing just to make me feel more comfortable. So, but anyway, the result of the Shri Yantra was that I really could not sleep. But anyway, when I don't sleep, I travel out of body. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's the best time to try. Yeah, I'm not putting it under my bed tonight because it's good to get some sleep as well. And so today, the mantis beings are incredible. You know, obviously the story of human evolution and all the evolution of the species is completely incorrect here on planet Earth. It is a little bit of natural evolution that really takes place here, of course, but most of it is actually an evolution from space. And so maybe you know Professor Chandra Vikramasinghe, who is an amazing scientist who actually is always trying to speak out and say, guys, scientists, life did not evolve on planet Earth. Life is a cosmic phenomenon. And it is always an interaction between cosmic DNA and whatever is here. We mix and match. It's all alchemy. Evolution does happen, but it is not exactly how we are taught here. And so today we are here under these amazingly auspicious energies of the beautiful blue green. I don't know why I wanted to call it blue because of the blue star Kachina. I know the blue star Kachina was supposed to come, but I don't know when. And so the green comet. And so the energies, as you know, as Patricia shared in her email, we are breaking up all the yucky stuff on planet Earth. So we'll have some cleaning up to do. So we'll do cleaning up. And I'm almost thinking that the cleaning up should happen sooner than later, and that it will take a few days, if not weeks. And so we should not be definitely waiting. It has a blue tail. Yeah, so it was equinox 2022, so not long ago, when I was visited by my guides, my Hopi guides at Mount Shasta, and they told me that the blue star Kachina was next. And I always say, you know, from cosmic perspective, whatever is next could be 100 years, unfortunately. But a lot of people say that this is the blue star Kachina. And so I'm going to switch the slide so that we know what we are doing today. Today we're doing something super amazing. I actually feel that every time we work with Oren, we're doing something super amazing. And so let's speak about a little bit what it is that we are doing here. Let's find some picture that shows it well. Today I'm going to speak about something I haven't really spoken about before, but okay. So we are beings of energy, and we are just like the Russian babushka dolls, the tiny little thing in on the inside of the babushka dolls. That's you and me here in the physical body. And then we have so many bodies, but also we have very infinite potential to build new bodies through our divine work. And so it depends on what we do, what we say, how we feel, what we believe. It really depends, because that creates naturally our bodies around us. We are like a beautiful kind of geometric structure that is coded through our actions, through our words, through our mind, our feeling nature. And of course, that means it's our divine nature. How do we express our true divine nature? If we do, we activate certain bodies that are normally dormant. And the more work we do to embody actually the highest level, which is the divine self, the spirit body, and then the smaller levels, the more tighter around us, the more individualized levels, the soul body, then the higher self body, and then of course our own energetics. And so we are part of nature. Everything is part of nature. The cosmic mother is the mother of all nature, and that nature is cosmic. And so when you and me are here in this physical body, we have biology, we have physiology, which is part of the physical expression of our mother nature, but also she is divine, and we also have divine nature. So altogether, that is really our nature. It is kind of when you look at the symbol, the yin and yang, so to me, it's the manifested and unmanifested, it's the visible and not visible. It is really our design. And so we attend to both. We attend to all that we know to be physical in this world, which also contains our emotional and mental body. But we also work with our soul and our spirit body and the body of the divine self. So we are really that way multidimensional. And depending on which level of yourself you activate, you can have access to that level of your own being. So you might see yourself the way that I've experienced it, like a big tower. And this tower is a multidimensional structure within your being. And it is up to you to go through the tower to the top and then maybe even beyond to get to know thyself. And that all is done internally, of course. It's nice to have these things, like I have these objects around me, but they just help me to remember who we are and sometimes to add a little bit of energy, of course. And so when you meditate, what happens? When you meditate, you actually are activating levels of your own being that maybe were not so easily accessible to the human before. When you do your spiritual routines, when you do whatever it is that you do for your own divinity, you are constantly expanding and rewriting your energy body. It is really important to do that and to also do it eventually consciously. And that means you are like nature working with your own nature. And this is the beauty of it. When you, for example, express the qualities of your heart, the higher heart, the infinite heart, into your life, and you are always a being of goodwill, no matter what, then you are like a flower that blossoms beautifully. And what happens is that because nature is, of course, like I said, divine, but also manifested in the physical, which also is divine, then she will grow around you all these structures. She will grow these structures around you naturally. That's why I don't believe anyone can actually come to you, and people actually, charge for this and say, I will activate your light body. I don't think that's possible, that someone can activate the light body for you. As far as I know, even Jesus didn't do it. Jesus gave a taste of his light to others. I believe he did hold his disciples in his light body to give them a taste, but then we do the work ourselves. And so we do the work. We can get a taste, Yogananda gave me a taste, Jesus gave me a taste, but they both always said it is just a map so that you know which way to go and what the destiny is. They didn't say, here you go, magic wand, bam, enlightenment. It still is our own doing, thinking, feeling, showing up in love, showing up in service, showing up in consciousness. And so when we work, for example, now with the stars, we are really working with other beings, because if you could see it, and maybe you've seen it, all of us actually are stars within creation. The truth of creation to me is the truth beyond all realities. Realities to me are not the truth. Not a single reality to me is the truth. When you want to say it that way, or I want to say it that way, because Source told me it is all creation, are dream realities, even if they very, very, very beautiful. The ultimate truth in a way is the nothingness and everythingness. That's the only way I can describe it. So When you go to the angelic queendom, you see all the beautiful healing temples. When you go to higher dimensions, they figured things out, they have harmony, and they live in oneness. It's beautiful, but it is just the reality that was created by those beings. It is not the ultimate truth. And so when you want to go into the ultimate truth, you go beyond all realities that have been created. It's pretty incredible. But then you come to the unbelievable potential in which you see that all beings are dreaming. All beings are dreaming. So all beings are dreaming, whether they are really highly evolved or not, or here on planet Earth, we are dreaming, too, unfortunately. And so in the end, every single one of us is light. We are light, and we are light receivers, and we are light transmitters. And that to me is the truth of us, receivers and transmitters of light. And not just here, but everywhere. Every single dimension is receiver, transmitter, receiver, transmitter. And what does it give you? It gives you the rhythm. It gives you the rhythm of creation, which is the breath. And that's why breath is so important. And so when you go in, hold, out, hold, but the hold is a pause. It's a natural pause. That is the rhythm of creation. And that is, if you see this picture here, which I love so much, if you envision, for example, Mother, Father, God being the center of this, where you kind of see the Shiva Shakti, and then everyone is just receiving and transmitting, receiving and transmitting. And so I call this the cosmic ping pong, because we all engage in it, unless we shut down completely. But as you know, I bet you we don't know anyone in this world who is completely shut down. It would be very hard to find anyone who's 100% shut down. And so in this cosmic ping pong, what happens? Shiva Shakti source, Shiva Shakti source emanates love light, just like this, freely to everyone, and never ever take sides with anyone. That's why we would say it's neutral. It is very neutral, but pure love. And that is really what we are remembering, to neutral but pure love. No one is stepping on anyone's toes, unlike in this world. In this world, it's a very different story. But in the cosmic picture, everyone's so happy to be part of this. Everyone honors everyone else. Everyone sees the value of everyone else. Everyone sees the incredible value of this cosmic ping pong. And you know why? This is exactly, expand this image to cosmos and you will see the design of all things. There is nothing happening, and yet everything is happening internally in the dream of the dreamer. It's amazing. It really is. You will see nothing when you get to this level except for this. All lights shining beautifully brightly in the cosmic body of the mother. And you could, in a way, say also the cosmic body of the father, because he kind of holds the space for the mother to expand into. So she's the one who creates, but she could not do it without the father. And so here we are. We are this. We are those amazing beings who normally should be collaborating with each other in this way, honoring and loving every single one of us, even if the person, at this point we are not people anymore, but even if the being is not capable of holding much light, it's okay. They hold a little bit of light. That is so valuable, because Source is infinitely patient, since time doesn't exist at this place. And actually, it's not even a place. And that's the other thing. At this level of creation, there is no space. That is just an illusion so that we can imagine things into being. At this level of creation, there's also no time, because there is just the infinite moment of this eternal moment. That's it. And I was able to see this in detail in 2015. And so that's how I describe it. It completely changed me. It changes you. And then, sometimes we go back to the human self. And then when we feel the discomfort of the human self, we have to remember, oh, even when I die, it's going to be blissful. It's okay. It's okay to be fearless. I listened to all these predictions about all the earth changes that might be coming or not. Who knows? And I always know, even if the tsunami hits, which is what I experienced in my past life in Atlantis, we still will go into it with divine confidence. So I remember how, the society that I was part of, we were divinely confident, just sitting down in silence, waiting for the tsunami to hit when, it was the end of Atlantis. So that's, to me, just remembrance of the divine confidence that we are uncovering here, that there is no death and that it's a split second of departure if it's needed to another dimension. But what is important, and this is again why we work with what we work with, we are working with the cosmic energies, because, the cosmic energies are our really sponsors. And so every being who is highly evolved becomes a bigger star. And then when they get even more and more and more and more capacity, they might become the organizing principle of a system. Every system in cosmos has an organizing principle that is similar to source. In our own body, it is our heart. Our heart is the organizing principle of our being. And so that's why it's so important to love life with all your heart. And so again, cosmic creation is so incredibly big. I heard about, I always want to know who else is traveling out of body, what they are doing out of body, because I want to be inspired to maybe explore new worlds that I haven't been to. And I heard about the Taoist master who would go out of body for many months because he was so passionate about exploring cosmos. And his disciples had to make sure that no insect and no mice and no rats get to his body while he's out for so long until he comes back. And so again, it's very big. But in this big cosmos, we do have some organization. You can say there is chaos. And I think chaos is only happening whenever we need to reorganize things. But mostly it is actually very organized, just like your physical body is organized. And so in cosmos, when we have a being who is highly capable, they become the organizing principle of a system. For example, the organizing principle of a galaxy will be the galactic core. The organizing principle of a solar system will be the sun. The organizing principle of you and me is our hearts. And so that is where the portal is. And as we are in the portal, we become the shining ones. The shine only comes from an open heart. It doesn't come from knowledge. It actually comes from an open heart. And so it's okay not to know it all. I always say, Divine Mother, it can be tricky because some people have so much knowledge. They have cosmic knowledge, but they don't realize that there is a mother who is the organizing principle of all things. And so they miss the whole point. And so knowledge to me is not so important. I've seen some people channel incredible things, but if it doesn't have the love for the mother, if it doesn't have love for life, then to me it's useless. And so it is all about love in the end and in the beginning too, really. And that is, there are beings in this cosmos who are so incredibly shining, the shining ones, like the Holy Kumaras, and they take on big missions. And the mission is always, free will for all. They don't force us to evolve, but they give us the opportunity to evolve through their amazing emanation. And so, for example, for us, the Big Dipper is such an incredible embodiment of divine will. It is here emanating to us. These are the 7 holy Kumaras, the 7 rishis. And so they emanate this light to us so that if we choose to, we can evolve with them. And so when we build the spirit body, we are saying, I want new geometries within me so that I'm more capable of greater things. Again, the greater things are up to us to activate. We activate the greater things within us. To me, it's called siddhis, kind of like the greater things within us, the magical part of us that actually used to be our nature. And so when we work with Orin, every single day, we activate new siddhis, new capabilities, new capacity to love. Nothing beats that. Divine Mother will only say, love life with all your heart. Children, all of you, all of us, all, you know, the ones who believe, don't believe, it doesn't matter what, loving life. And so this Sunday we'll have a great event. It will be mainly with Patricia Coda-Robles, of course. You know, I'm just going to introduce the event a little bit. I don't want to talk too much. And then Patricia will present to us about Divine Mother. And then we are co-creating a video kind of activity, which will be to, as we always do something beautiful for the world, to become more of our divine being. So I have a lot of things I haven't posted on YouTube, but today, hopefully I'll get to it. It will be recorded on Sunday. As of now, I like doing the YouTube live only with like private groups, because sometimes you get people who are very disturbing when it comes to, you know, just randomly coming across a live video. And so then they put stuff in the chat. Patricia doesn't like it. And so we're just going to keep it kind of hidden. But everybody here will have the link, of course, to it, because it's nice to keep the container very balanced and harmonious. And I'm going to be posting also the private link to the amazing workshop with Alex, which was fabulous. Watch it till the end. It's long. I think it was like 2 hours, if not longer. Actually, I think it was 2.5 hours. But what Alex did at the end, normally she teaches these workshops. And so, you know, we paid her to come and teach us. Normally, I think she charges like $250 per person. And so, you know, we gave her our donations, which was amazing. And I'm so grateful to all of you to teach us as a group. And so it was 3 hours. Okay. So it's worth watching till the end, because what she did at the end, she actually did a transmission with a sacred object that Divine Mother manifested in this reality. And she used it to move through our illusion. And I found it so unbelievably powerful. It was so life-changing. My life is different again. You know, it was like, whoa, she changed us. Yes. I feel also the liberation was huge. Whoa. Yeah. So definitely watch it if you can, all the way till the end. The great gift is at the end. And so with that, let us go. I'm going to post everything today. I just haven't had time. We just got back home yesterday. And so let us go. I'll stop recording. Amazing work that changes lives. So I hope everybody is expecting amazing expansions and changes, transformations, and just stepping into more love, into more openness, into more bliss, into more ease. Because, you know, harmony is really what Source calls the altar. And also Yogananda spoke about it. It is the key to heaven in a way. Our harmony, our peace is the key to heaven. One way to say it, meaning you cannot enter higher dimensions unless you have a very peaceful, beautiful, organized light body. And so we grow the light bodies here together. We bring more and more geometry, more and more harmony, always guided by Divine Mother into more and more. And so I think a lot about what Alex shared with us about her encounters with Divine Mother, and how the Divine Mother always appeared, I think, to that group in her kind of Kali form. And it was all before 2012. And so much has changed since 2012. And every time I see Divine Mother, she is in many different forms. She comes in many different forms, but always in forms that come to assist humanity into being more in love with life. And responsible, of course, because as you hear it, we are energy fields that are completely visible to those who see. And of course, higher beings always see. We are all visible, really. And so we are visible not through a mask of what we put on the face, or, you know, how holy we want to seem. We are visible for that which emanates from us. That is our truth right now. That is who we are right now. I wouldn't call it truth, actually, because the only truth is the divine truth. But everything is emanated from us in every moment. And so we are always transmitting. There is no way that we stop transmitting, whether we want it or not. We are always sending information about us into this beautiful exchange. And so what is it we want to be sending? We want to be sending just rainbow light and love. And if anything else is in the way, we can clean up. And so we can always cleaning up. Another big thing in this world, right? We've been trained to see a pretty face and say, oh, that matches the image I have of a divine being. No, we need to break the paradigm, you know, that's the most misleading thing. And it still works through people, of course. That's why some gurus and some teachers would take on a form that doesn't look like the most beautiful divine being, because the divinity has to be recognized by what is really being sent out, you know. And so, of course, when you see some very nefarious beings, they take on those very pretty faces. They do it on purpose. And so what a great game we are part of. So here we are. I saw that Patricia just sent the email out as well for our event. So definitely please register if you want to participate, because the link for the event will be sent then. Beautiful. So tomorrow we will continue our journey. Actually, tomorrow we will complete the album with Oren that we have been working with, which is about the power within us. So it's going to be the final one. All power, come on to us, all power. And just before we do the event with Patricia. So thank you so much. Many blessings to everyone. And remember, you are a receiver and a transmitter. Every breath, it goes in and it goes out. So thank you.